तो हेलो गाइस, मैं हूं नितेश यादव और आप देख रहे हैं वीडियो को। चैनल को शुरू करने से पहले बता दूं कि चैनल पर आपको क्रिप्टो करेंसी से रिलेटेड अपडेट न्यूज़ और जो भी कॉइन लॉन्च होते हैं मिलेंगे सबसे पहले। तो बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए चलिए आज का वीडियो शुरू करते हैं। तो हेक्स कॉइन के ऊपर हमारे बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट कॉइन है जिसके ऊपर ज़्यादा मैं फोकस दे रहा हूँ। वो सबसे मेरे इस चैनल पे का ये कॉइन सबसे अलग है, उसके लिए मैं इस कॉइन के ऊपर इतना ज़्यादा प्रेशर दे रहा हूँ। ऑलरेडी इसके ऊपर 3 वीडियो बन चुका है, ये चौथा वीडियो है। तो ये करंटली प्राइस 34 रुपीज़ है। बिना टाइम वेस्ट करते हुए चलिए वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। जो मेन पार्ट है इसका, फोर्थ पार्ट को स्टार्ट करते हैं। तो ये हम लोगों का थर्ड पार्ट का कुछ रिमेनिंग थोड़ा सा इंटरनेट का इशू हो गया था उसके बाद, और टाइम भी खत्म हो चुका था, तो वीडियो को शुरू करते हैं।
Rather than paying miners, HEX pays the stakers instead, who have no costs, pushing down the price of HEX. And the more people stake their coins, the less will be available on the market for buyers. Turn increases the price of HEX. However, if less people stake, then the contract automatically increases the amount of interest earned by the remaining stakers. This balance ensures that it's always beneficial to be a staker. You can already buy HEX on a growing number of exchanges. If you were a Bitcoin holder, why not own your investment in an asset that actually rewards you for holding?
तो यार सबसे मेन पार्ट है जो अब भी स्टार्ट होने जा रहा है यार, और ये
Mention of cryptocurrency.
ये वीडियो सबसे मेन टॉपिक जो है वो ये है। तो चलिए वीडियो को शुरू करते हैं और वीडियो को ध्यान से देखिए, और कुछ भी डाउट होता है यार कमेंट कर सकते हैं। और वीडियो का पार्ट 1 और पार्ट 2 और पार्ट 3 का डिस्क्रिप्शन में और कार्ड में आपको लिंक मिल जाएगा।
First certificate of deposit on the blockchain. It's an immutable smart contract that rewards those who lock up their coins when they stake. In other words, HEX was designed to be like a long-term savings account, but with greater yield than anything the bank has to offer. If you're new to cryptocurrencies, here's how all it works. When you purchase HEX, it behaves just like any other cryptocurrency. They vary and people trade them just like Bitcoin. However, unlike other crypto assets, it gives you interest in the form of more HEX for locking up your monetary value for a selective period of time. The longer you time lock your HEX, the higher your interest rate will be. This is not unlike a trading certificate of deposit. The key difference is, HEX was designed to yield extraordinarily high rates of return versus typical banking products, and puts you in complete control over your finances. But what does this really look like? Some people get into HEX without understanding enough about the product. They invest and throw out a few random stakes between 1 to 2 years. While this HEX was designed to produce significant returns in both interest and fiat value over the course of several years, not just 1 or 2. If you properly understand its design, you can get perpetual passive income from HEX. This is like planting an orchard of apple trees. Apple trees are designed to take time to fully mature before they yield significant amounts of produce. HEX is designed in much the same way. Could you imagine trying to live on 2-year-old fruit trees that only started producing a fraction of their full potential? Sure, you may see significant growth and even a little produce, but it would be impossible to enjoy the fruits of your labor for years to come. What if you employed a longer-term plan in the development of your apple orchard? What if you planted a new crop each year from years 1 to 15? And what if you continued this process? You would essentially have a never-ending supply of apples for generations. Can you imagine how much produce you'd receive from your 10 to 15-year-old apple trees? This is exactly how HEX Savings works. Long-term savings account. Now, I'm not saying you should lock up all of your HEX for 15 years and forget about it. Although some have, and they seem to be quite happy with their decision. If you build a proper staking ladder, one that sets stakes to mature up to 10 or 15 days, you can enjoy the maximum yield on your investment for years to come. Having stakes set to mature between years 1 through 15 allows you to enjoy the fruits of your investment early, while also giving you the patience and discipline to reap potentially life-changing rewards in the longer term. It's the same as enjoying the abundant fruits of a 15-year-old apple tree versus a tree. Imagine if Bitcoin was designed this way. All of those who bought Bitcoin for $1 in the early years maybe wouldn't have sold all of their holdings at $10.